Does Rahul Gandhi have to reinvent himself yet again? Yes, yet again and again, that's the question which many of his detractors keep asking both within and outside the party. You know, when the Lok Sabha results came out, it seemed that he had got his mojo back. And that's also one of the main reasons why he finally got convinced to occupy a position which was that of the leader of the opposition, or that of the LOP as it's called. That is because finally the Congress leaders were convinced that his strategy was working. The slogans that he was raising had got traction with the people. And what were his slogans? Attacking corporates.
स्मॉल और मीडियम बिजनेसेस जो हैं, जो हिंदुस्तान की रोजगार की रीढ़ की हड्डी है, बैकबोन है, उड़ा दिया.
Projecting the Congress party and himself as a messiah of the people. The Bharat Jodo Yatra Part 1 and 2. And of course his insistence on the caste survey.
जाति जनगणना हमारे लिए सिर्फ गिनती नहीं है. जाति जनगणना हमारे लिए पॉलिसी फ्रेमवर्क है.
Now, buoyed by the good electoral results, and good in the eyes of the Congress party, because they managed to ensure that the BJP did not get a simple majority, and therefore they were very gung-ho as far as Haryana goes. And when we did speak earlier in one of the earlier episodes of One Take, this is exactly what I had discussed, that the slogans he raised and which seemed to have worked during the Lok Sabha elections, the litmus test for them would actually be the state polls. Because when it comes to national elections or the Lok Sabha elections, there were multiple factors which are at play. And of course, there are many parties. Congress is not the only one. I mean, how can you not give credit, for example, to Samajwadi Party, which did very well in UP, which increased their numbers? Or how can you not give credit to a Trinamool Congress or to a DMK for that matter? And in Haryana, it was a real litmus test, I would say, because this was largely a game between the BJP on one side and the Congress party, though there were many other smaller splinter parties as well. And that is why it was important to watch out whether Rahul Gandhi's formula of pushing about caste census, survey, projecting the Congress party as a messiah of the backwards would actually work. Well, it clearly didn't. Because even the Jats en masse did not end up voting for the Congress. But what is possibly even worse is that the Dalit votes were deeply divided. We've already kind of dissected a multiple factors for that. But clearly the caste survey, caste census are issues which did not work. And if it did not work in a state which was largely a bipolar fight, and I'm not even talking about other players like AAP and JJP and so on, because they were not a very dominant player. How do you expect that Rahul Gandhi's slogans will be given that kind of attraction or freedom to play as far as Maharashtra goes, or even Jharkhand? Because unlike in Haryana, both in these two state elections which are coming up, the Congress is in a pre-poll alliance. And they are not convinced that Rahul Gandhi's slogans are going to be working, which is why they want Rahul Gandhi to be a little laid back and take a back seat. Now, you remember when Rahul Gandhi used to travel to Maharashtra, he used to keep on attacking the BJP over the Veer Savarkar issue. At an India bloc meeting, Sharad Pawar objected to this. Even Uddhav Thackeray was uncomfortable and Rahul Gandhi had to backtrack. And that's the reason why it did not work in Maharashtra, and which is why it may not be allowed as far as Congress goes. And therefore, I'm going back to the earlier question which I began with, and in yet another episode of One Take on does Rahul Gandhi need to reinvent himself. Politicians need to, and they should, and there should be no ambitions or egos about it. Because there are different strokes for different people and for different elections. What may have worked in Lok Sabha may not really click in Maharashtra and Jharkhand. It certainly did not in Haryana. There was a sense of fatigue of him going everywhere where people did not even care about issues like attacking the corporates. I remember I had gone to Gujarat elections, and there Rahul Gandhi had taken a break from the Bharat Jodo Yatra, and there he was talking about the corporate houses being, like having a dominant say, and they were attacking. And interestingly, he was making this kind of a point in Surat, where every third or fourth house had a member employed in one of these corporate houses. It did not go down well because they felt ये तो हमारे पेट पे लात मार रहा है, हमारी रोजी रोटी पे लात मार रहा है. So that logic did not click. It did not click in Haryana, unlikely to click in Maharashtra, unlikely to click in Jharkhand as well. And this whole caste thing did not work in Haryana, which is why there is a demand which is now coming in not just within the Congress party, but more so from the India bloc, that Rahul Gandhi needs to reinvent himself. What is it that he can do? He also needs to understand that you cannot act the big brother here anymore. We're already seeing the tussle which took place over the seat sharing talks. The indication is very clear. We don't agree with your style of campaigning. You do what you want to do in your turf, in your area, but don't do it in those areas where what you say is going to have an impact on our chances. That's what the NCP or the JMM or even the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena faction thinks. Also, if today the Congress is accusing the Prime Minister or the BJP of being jaded, there is a feeling within the Congress party also that this is exactly what is happening now to the whole caste survey, caste census argument. Because how can you keep on saying, no, the people of India are going to understand, let us keep on trying, kabhi to log samjhenge and kabhi to log vote denge. In politics, unfortunately, you do not have the luxury of time. But can and will Rahul Gandhi want to reinvent himself? Because that's the larger question. He's known to be stubborn. He's known to believe that come what may, I'm going to stick to the stand. Which is why recently in Jharkhand, he went back campaigning and he raised the same mistakes which he was accused of Haryana. Again, the caste, the Manusmriti, all of that. It may give an issue to the BJP, but it also makes his allies uncomfortable, who certainly want him to reinvent. They want him to mellow down. And that's the question I'm leaving you with this week. As we head into full-on campaign in Maharashtra and Jharkhand, does Rahul Gandhi urgently need to change tracks? Thank you so much for watching.